Hey guys, Evans with Z111 here today bringing you a video on Crest, which is a new godlike simulation game to come out on Steam. It is early access, it is unfinished, and everything you see in this video is not representative of the final product, so I'll get that out of the way. As you can see, changelog version 0.18, so it is pretty early. There's a lot of features to be added. Just to give a scale of that, typical playthrough in early access will last 20 to 30 minutes, and in full release they're planning for about 2 hours. So, the story of the game is pretty basic, it's not too profound, don't worry. It talks about how the universe was created and everything, and you act as this godlike deity, but you can relate to humans. You see the humans acting, and you kind of relate to who they are and everything about them, but you can't directly interact with them, and you give them a will to live. You're like a spiritual energy that they believe in, but you can't. You're kind of transcendent, you can't actually you can't engage with them, and that is represented in the game itself. There aren't like god powers, you can't interact with the people themselves, all you can really do is influence them. Now some people may like this, some people may not like this. There are games like Black and White or Godus, which very much you can terraform the world, you can use powers, you can use lightning and summon meteors, but this game, it's much more observy. Now, before I get into the game itself, transparency is important to me, and I was sent a press/review key for this game because I saw a newsletter and I thought I really like godlike games, so I'm going to give this a try, and checked out the Steam page, it had good reviews, so I thought I'd try it out and do a video on it, maybe give it a bit more exposure. But everything I say is I'm going to try and be objective about it, at least as much as I can. So, you get an island. This is the island you get, and there are villages scattered around the island. You can see all these hexes around the villages, and they describe things like the resources, basically metals, how close they are to giving birth to someone, sorry, I need to get a better angle on that, the amount of food they have, and the kind of age range living in the village, as well as how they're doing for food, like if they're hungry or if they're well fed or if they've even had too much food. And then their happiness, which gives all their needs. Like, green basically means they're happy because they have farm jobs, but they're not happy because they don't have the food for survival, they don't have metal, they don't have mine jobs, they don't have offspring, they have a lack of food, they have a lack of metal, and they are moving out, or they have moved out recently. So, how do you tell them what to do? This is actually the important part of the game. There are a series of commandments. You can open the commandment tab from here, and you can set these. The followers won't necessarily exactly do them, but they will generally follow them for a certain amount of time. This is where all your commandments will be. So a good one to have, say, is if there are food. People do generally need food, so what I can do is I can say all the happy people, like this is select who the first one selects who the commandment affects, then the next one is the action, so basically that's do this, don't do this, try and do this, try not to do this, and go here or avoid here. So if I say all the happy people, generally try to, where is it? There we go, gather food. And then I can set that, and then the happy people, the people who are able to work, will go out and gather food. So this guy, for example, he's not very happy, he's probably not going to follow the commandment, so he's just going off to mine. These guys are dancing, so they're happy, they'll generally go off to get food, and this guy looks as though he's hunting, so he's going off gathering food. Now, the problem is right now, it's going to be hard to gather food because they're in a deserty area. Say if I click, oh no, it's not a desert, it's a savannah actually, so if I click that, you can see all the villages that the commandment will affect get highlighted. So everyone in the savannah, I can say move to a forest area, and then if I set that as a commandment, you can see it appear here, it lasts a certain amount of days, they will eventually start moving. So let's speed up time real quick, and these guys aren't happy, so they're still going off mining, doing their own thing, but soon enough they will move into a more forested area, which will, there we go, this guy is moving by the looks of it, and he will create a settlement over here, which means, oh, of course he actually goes in the desert just outside the forest boundary, but him living here, eventually he will make the land more fertile and the forest area will spread, so you have influence over the land like that. And now this village or this settlement will slowly begin growing, and there is wildlife too. Say in my first save, I completely ignored the wildlife. Eventually the lion started hunting all the, is it elk? What is it? Antelopes. Eventually the lion started hunting all the antelopes, and they just all became extinct. so I didn't really maintain that. But this game, it doesn't really have direction. Like, it doesn't seem as though there's a set goal to work towards. There's no experience bars, there's no stats, there's no, like, you've got this amount of followers, the followers are this happy. It's just generally very observant, is what I want to call it. It's a much more passive game to play. So I'll set a few more commandments in place just to see if I can get this place thriving. I will get the people in the desert to try and mine, so they have metal. I will get the happy people to try and breed, so that I get a greater population. And you can do a few messed up things, like say if I said hungry followers, and then I force them, not encourage them, but I force them to eat other hungry followers. That is the sort of thing that will happen. And as you may see, there's not any tooltips. So as far as the interaction with the symbols go, you kind of have to work it out for yourself. And there's a lot of trial and error involved in it, I will be honest. Some people like that. I would say the majority don't. I had a look at the Steam discussions, and a lot of people, like, they don't understand the interaction between the all the symbols, and the developers have responded. The developers' contact with the players is very good right now, but they seem pretty stubborn about it, if I'm perfectly honest. They seem as though they're saying, one of the focuses of this game is you are a god who can't engage with the followers. They just follow a general guideline, and they take the interpretation of these symbols, which is the only thing you can show them. I guess they're like etched into stones or something which they find, and then they try and follow those symbols to the best of their abilities. And later on in the game's progression, they are going to add things like, I guess, free will. Say if you make villagers happy, they'll be more inclined to follow them, but say if you start, you encourage happy villagers, but then you start straying from your way and making them do things that you didn't usually do, then they start getting a bit more deviant. And they do things like form settlements and get selfish and attack other settlements and things like that. So I'm going to try something new. What I'll say is I'll get the young followers. Oh wait, I need to get rid of this commandment. I don't want my hungry people to eat the hungry people. Say if I get the young followers, and I don't encourage them, but I actually force them to, I assume, hunt the lions. So, one sec, where are the young followers? I'll see if I can... I might actually not have any young followers. Let me see if I can... No, I don't seem to have any. So maybe if I just send the unhappy people to hunt the lions, then technically it's solving my happiness problem. So that's something I'll force them to do, and see if I can find anyone who goes hunting as a result. So the unhappy settlement was there. What's this? Oh damn it, I missed the speech bubble. That's another criticism I do have. Sometimes the followers have a little speech bubble above their heads, which basically shows you which commandment they're following, but they're very small, and once they've gone, they've gone. There's no way of retracing it. So this game, I'd be lying if I said I was impressed. I know it is early access. It's oh, here we go. It's definitely something I will keep my eye on. But as it is right now, it does feel very demo-ish. It's nice having a relaxing game that's not too in your face. With Goddess or Godus, however you want to pronounce it, it was very grindy. Okay, he's just going to hunt in antelope instead. Let's see if I can actually force more breeding. I feel as though these commandments... Oh no, I've still got a few days left on them, so I'll wait for them to end and then I'll force more. But as you can see, the grass is spreading now, so this area is becoming much more fertile. And it looks as though this village is... Yeah, this village is being abandoned, so... I kind of need to encourage more... Ooh, a few people are dying, actually. My first island had loads of people, but this one now only has one guy left. This... I really fucked up. I really fucked up on this island. Here we go, take two. So yeah, it feels as though right now there's a lot of work to be done, and tooltips would be nice. You do eventually get used to just... Or not tooltips, but... seeing what exactly your commandments are going to do. Right, let's get the unhappy followers to... I believe actually, if I say this, then they will prioritise making themselves happy and doing things they enjoy. I hope that's the case anyway. And then I will get happy people to try and breed, just so I can... In fact, I'm going to say force them to breed, just so I can try and get a larger population. And then I'll say... yeah, I'll say the young people can prioritise getting food, and then that should be a good foundation for a start. I as a player, as a consumer, I do prefer games where you can... Why do unhappy people love mining so much? I'm not sure why. Let's actually have a look at the village traits. Okay, they want to mine, but there's a lack of... Yeah, food is more important. Can they just please farm food? That would be nice, thank you. I am a more active consumer. I prefer games where you can actively play it and there's goals to work towards and stuff. Kind of like Reyes or Rus. I loved that godlike simulator. It was great. It's 2D and you kind of command gods and you influence where your villagers live. You don't have direct impact, but you do have a lot of influence and you can directly engage with them. With this one, the idea of setting commandments and just watching as they try to follow them is cool. I do like that. But I just feel as though there's lack of diversity. Okay, but these guys are happy now, so that's actually good. But there's lack of diversity within each game you play. They are going to add towards making content more varied, and like you have different islands they can sail across to and stuff. But right now it does feel very bare bones. So I wouldn't recommend it. And I know it's different because sometimes when you do get something for free, as I said, this was a press copy. It's I'm going to try and actually encourage them to move out to the desert actually, because then I can try and get them to mine and start a few mining villages. Yeah, you can't appreciate something fully unless you do pay for it, I feel, because then you know the value of your money, you know exactly what you're getting and how much you paid for it. And this game is $3.99 on Steam, as I believe right now, so it's not too expensive. It's not like you're playing for a AAA game. It's just a kind of thing you can hop on and just relax for a bit and enjoy playing it when it does last. But adding some more icons too, so that you can really change the things, and so that I guess you're encouraged to do bad things. Because as of right now, yeah, I could get hungry people to eat hungry people. I could get hungry people to eat all the old people, so that my village is purely or my settlement is purely young and they're all hard workers. But there's no real encouragement to do it. You might as well just be good and do things well. Alright, are they going to start moving now? Because I did encourage them to. Alright, let's say I'll get the young people. I'm going to force them to this time. I'll force them to move out to the desert and then hopefully they will go and do it. But nope, they're just going to dance at... Aha, here we go, some nomads who are moving over here. Sweet. So, I am curious to see what you guys think of this game, and I guess see how you think it could be improved, because hopefully the developer will watch this, and I do respect what you've made. It's a good game. I really like the art style. I like the concept of being able to set commandments and act as an actual god, but I feel as though it doesn't feel enough like a game right now. Even just little things like being able to open a statistic menu and see how many people have lived, how much food you've gathered, how the average happiness of your island, how many lions you've hunted, how much ore you mined. All those little things would provide incentives, and people who like progression, I guess, will really appreciate those. They don't directly change the gameplay, but they will... What happens if I do something like this? Like, what does that do? I have no idea what that would do. Maybe I have control over the lions and the antelopes. But again, it looks like they've all become extinct. So yeah, it's a quirky game. It's interesting. I like the concept. But as it is right now, I'm just going to keep my eyes on it whilst it is in the early access program. And every time a big update comes along, I might try it out again and see what they've added. So thanks a lot to the developers for sending out the press key. And good luck with... Well, yeah, good luck to you for developing the game. If you, my viewers, did enjoy watching this game, I'll have a link to the store page in the description below so you can buy it for yourself and try it out. And let me know if there's anything I'm missing. Let me know maybe I'm looking at it the wrong way. This is me, Evans with Z11. Please a rating if you enjoyed the video, and this is me out.